friends, this is Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. We're going to do another sourdough recipe. I know you're probably getting sick of sourdough, but I'm having so much fun with my sourdough that I'm always looking for new recipes. But before I get started, I'm going to be changing jars. I do this every couple of days. And since I'm going to be using a half a cup starter, I'm going to go ahead and replace already in the bottom of my fresh jar. I'm going to put a half a cup of flour and a half a cup of warm water. That's to replace the sourdough I am about to use. So let's set that aside for a second. Now we're going to make sourdough oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. The only thing is I say I'm doing it today and you're going to see it all in one video, but I'm actually starting this the night before because we want our dough to actually sour overnight. So for this recipe, to start off with, you're going to need a half a cup of starter, a half a cup of soft butter, a half a cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, 1 cup of flour, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, a half a teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking soda, half a teaspoon baking powder, and chocolate chips. Okay? But we're starting the dough itself, the sourdough, tonight. So first, I need half a cup of old-fashioned oats and a half a cup or 1 stick of butter and a half a cup of our sourdough. Look at how lovely and frothy and wonderful that is. Now I'm going to take my sourdough. It has a lovely sour, boozy smell almost. Let's give this a swirl just to make sure we get it all out, to be passed on into the new jar. Always do your sourdough in glass, stoneware crockery, or plastic. Never ever metal. Okay, folks? Now, we have our butter and our oatmeal and our sourdough starter. We just want to add 1 cup of flour to this. But we're going to do it in segments here. I should have grabbed a wooden spoon instead of my spatula, but I want to make sure that all this butter is mixed in and the oats are mixed in with our sourdough, because this is literally almost going to be like a bread dough. I might add just a little drop more of the sourdough. So I didn't quite get the proper amount of sourdough. I should have measured separately. Hey folks, I'm just starting to learn to measure with measuring cups, so my goodness, I'm gonna have arms like Hercules stirring this stuff. You know what? I'm gonna use my hands because it's almost like a bread dough. Well, it's a little sticky, but there we go. All right, there is our cookie dough starter. I'll show you that in a second as soon as I've washed my hands. Alrighty, there's our started oatmeal cookie dough, and I'm going to cover this with a cloth and set it on the counter. This must continue to sour for a minimum of 8 hours, which means I'm going to leave it overnight. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, now we have our sourdough starter that it's got a nice hoochie smell to it. Nice sour smell. This is the dough we started last night. And now we're in a small bowl, we're going to mix 1 egg, 2/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar. A little bit more because I didn't pack that down. Teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my cinnamon. I'm going to put in about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. About a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And notice it's clumpy, so I'm just going to rub it in my hand so there's no lumps. We're just going to mix this all in. Make sure that egg is all broken up. No, Angus, you can't help. And then we're going to mix this into our sourdough oatmeal mixture from last night. One I almost forgot. Chocolate chips, semi-sweet. I had some left over from that chocolate chip cake I made for Wolfie's birthday. And then we're just going to mix this really well. I could use the cowgirl, but this isn't going to take much. And then I'll be right back with a cookie sheet. And we're just going to start dropping cookies on this sheet. Now this may seem a little liquidy. I might add just a little drop more of the sourdough. There we go. But they're drop cookies. Angus is waiting so patiently for the bowl. Take a little bit off of this one. Yes, I know, Angus. These are going to go into the oven, 300 and, well, it says 75 degrees. 375 degrees for about 10 minutes. All right, we'll be back when they come out of the oven. Well, here they are, folks. They kind of flattened out, and while I was spooning them onto the tray, I thought, geez, they seem a little runny. Oh, but they're so soft. They seemed a little runny, and I thought then I should have maybe, you know, put in another half a cup of flour. But as you can see from the half-empty tray, it didn't stop my son from enjoying them. Now I know you're doing your paperwork, so before you get started, don't laugh at them. They're flat. I need to add more flour next time, but we're going for flavor here at the moment. They're oatmeal chocolate chip. Cool. Awesome. So they're a little flat. We'll add some more flour before we drop them on the sheet next time, but the recipe stays.